The first thing you do when you get your iPhone 14 Pro is go to settings and turn this shit off. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is shaping up to be the beast of the year, but is the beast the best? I know the answers. Apple has taken two massive risks with the iPhone 14 Pro. First is the camera and the second one is Dynamic Island. We'll talk about the camera first because this is the only reason, in my opinion, why anyone should buy the iPhone 14 Pro or the Pro Max. Whenever a company adopts a higher megapixel sensor, it's a huge risk. Just look at the disaster that was the Galaxy S20 Ultra back in 2020. I was actually worried about this switch, but Apple has actually done it right on the dot. All these years and Samsung never gave us the ability to shoot higher megapixel photos in RAW mode where it would actually matter the most. Just look at the difference between a 48 megapixel iPhone 14 Pro Max photo versus the 108 megapixel photo on the S22 Ultra in auto mode. The difference is just night and day. Taking higher megapixel photos always hurt the HDR of the image, so Apple's 48 MP RAW mode has been the perfect reliable solution to this, something Samsung really needs to add if they actually want people to take full advantage of those megapixels. Now, Apple has also done something that I wanted Android manufacturers to do for so long, which is to offer portrait video in 4K where it would actually make a difference. It's probably my favorite mode to shoot on this phone right now. Not only it shoots in 4K, but it also works on objects and it allows you to shift that focus and get that cinematic feel. Apple also did the super stabilization mode better than Samsung and others because it actually offers 2.8K resolution on their first try instead of just shooting at 1080p, which Samsung has been doing since 2019. Now, when it comes to normal mode, you can shoot at 12 megapixels, which is more or less the same quality as the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and it would be hard to tell the difference in most conditions. Apple has made the HDR performance slightly worse, where I have seen the S22 Ultra be more consistent. But when it comes to video, this is again another area where Apple is just so good, extending the already good video performance of the iPhone 13 Pro Max even further with the most reliable video performance, especially in low light. All of this is super amazing, but there is still room for improvement. The long range zoom on the iPhone 14 Pro Max is still missing. You also can't take wider portrait selfies, and there's still no night mode for portrait selfies. But outside of these things, this camera setup is really good. I know photos can be subjective, but video is the best on iPhone considering its low light performance as well as the cinematic mode in 4K. So if that's really what you need, then this might just be the best camera for you. Now, taking a look at the second big risk, which was of course the Dynamic Island, don't let the marketing fool you because this is still pretty much like a mini notch and it's not as clean as the competition. The more I use it, the more I realize how much space it actually takes. With that being said, I appreciate Apple making something out of this imperfection. The Dynamic Island is just the beginning of something amazing. It basically acts like a notification for an ongoing process. For example, if you play a song, set a timer, change the mute switch, connect AirPods, call someone, everything that is ongoing is implemented with the Dynamic Island. It also almost acts like a mini multitasking for certain functions. For example, if I'm on Twitter scrolling around, I can quickly use the Dynamic Island to change the music or change the timer. It's like I'm quickly interacting with 3 apps without leaving the actual main application. There's definitely so much potential for this with more apps adding their functionality to Dynamic Island. With that being said, it is still ugly. It's gonna take a bit of a while to get used to this look. For purely aesthetics, I still love my S22 Ultra more. Now, if you're going for the iPhone 14 Pro Max, then handling the Dynamic Island with one hand could be a bit of a problem, especially if you have small hands. For me, I'm able to do this one-handed thanks to the big hands and of course the case that I'm rocking, which provides the right grip. I'm using the most functional case combo on the market for iPhones right now, the Moft case with Snapset Wallet. It gives you all the everyday essential tools that you need. For example, the ultimate protection for the phone, versatile hands-free viewing experience, a secure and private 3-card holder, and a firm grip. It's so nice to be able to have this hands-free media and FaceTime experience. It even acts like a mini tripod for your phone so you can shoot those photos and videos without any worries. The material of the Snap-on stand and wallet is made of vegan leather, which has a really good feel on the hand. They also have a bunch of colors to choose from, so use my special link in the description to get morphed cases with Snapset wallet with a special discount right now. Alrighty, now in terms of the design, Apple's signature color, the deep purple, has been very nice. In my opinion, it is the best color to go for this lineup, but it's still not as best as the Sierra blue color of the iPhone 13 Pro series from last year. Now, something that I've noticed compared to my 13 Pro Max is that Apple has made the speakers even more better with the quality. They actually sound a little louder, which is pretty good. Once again, the performance is just too good. I did a speed test with the S22 Ultra, and despite having just 6GB of RAM, the phone was able to keep every single app, the 13 applications that I opened, without any refresh. It's also the best gaming phone out there. In fact, it actually beats some of the proper gaming phones on the market when it comes to playing Genshin Impact. It's crazy that this phone is able to do that without any massive air vents or cooling, all thanks to the efficient and the world's best smartphone chip, the A16. Speaking of 16, iOS 16 has been amazing, from its lock screen customization to its Translate API and camera, also the ability to extract PNG right on the go, the smoothest animations in the world. Like, I'd really have no complaints whatsoever, but it did got one thing very wrong, which is of course the always on mode. This is an always dim display, and for a lot of people it's actually affecting the battery life. It's also very distracting because the display is always on. I'm thankful that Apple has provided the best solution for this, which is of course to turn this option off. It allows you to save battery and it's less distracting. Now, you can use a dark wallpaper to make this more like a proper always on mode. Shout out to Lover of Tech for this solution, but I'd rather just have it off. And that has definitely helped with the battery life because I'm constantly getting 9 to 10 hours of screen on time even with heavy usage. That's about the same battery performance as my iPhone 13 Pro Max. So all in all, the iPhone 14 Pro Max is the beast of 2022 with the best camera, especially in video with 4K cinematic mode and of course that 48 megapixel RAW mode. Great battery life, proper gaming performance. It's really hard not to recommend this phone if you're looking for a proper flagship in 2022 right now, until we see a proper challenger to this phone in the form of Galaxy S23 Ultra next year. As great the iPhone 14 Pro Max is, and if you can afford it, it's a great choice, but if you're looking for the absolute value, then the 13 Pro Max is still a pretty good phone, and you can probably save some money for next year, maybe for the USB-C iPhone 15 Pro, a periscope camera, even better overall package. You really can't go wrong with either decisions, but for the absolute best, it is the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here. With that being said, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.